And recording. So anything you say, you've been clipped. Alright, we'll get started. Does anyone have questions before we get started now? Nada? Alright. Let's get it. I'm gonna go over Amazon. I posted this on my team analysis Sunday or Monday morning. Check this out. Mentioned right here, Amazon pivot cross. If you look at this chart, I know it's a little blurry, but you see price action is right here, crossing pivot, right? So what I was looking for is, well, first thing I saw why this was a good setup. One, we're crossing pivot, so we're now switching sides, and we have a white zone all the way to our 9%. White zone just means there's no resistance within this area besides this 9% cluster. And then it's a good R to R. You can see the spaces, the ranges being presented. So another thing, we can also, if we hold pivot, we got an 80% chance on that. So once I saw that, well, there's two ways you could have played it. For upside, need to hold strong above our pivot, 174.65. Above that pivot in our daily open, look to target 2% cluster at 178.26 and runners to our ceiling and 80% upside. And then you could have played downside as well because we're literally at pivot. This was presented kind of like the same ranges. We have PML right here and then our 80% downside. All right. So once we look at that, sent that out on Tuesday or Monday. Yeah, I sent that out on Monday actually. Right, our weekly. So you see, I saw this, and then what did we do? We pumped, hitting our first TP at 178.26. You can see they struggled to stay within this range. You can see they're chopping, couldn't decide what side to stay on. And we got our ceiling for the most part. Didn't really hit it, but I count that close enough. I'm going to show you guys opportunities. So this is why you don't chase. You want to enter off the pullback, right? So you can see we have a gap fill sticking out like the sore thumb. What did price action do today? Came down and hit it right at 50%. What do I say about gap fills? Gap fills right at 50% is like a pivotal point. Below 50%, we go to 100% and lower. But majority of the time, you'll see some sort of reaction within 50%. 50%, if you guys back test this, just grab box, mark out 50%, and just look at previous gap fills and how they react within 50%. Right? So there's two entries you could have done. One, right off the gap fill. Two, you could have waited for some confirmation of that being monthly, getting support off monthly or a cluster, and then targeting back to daily open, and then ceiling, and then 80% upside. Achieved all those levels in one go. That's for Amazon. Let's check out Adobe. Adobe should be similar. Not quite, still has room for the upside. I was looking at this. Oh shit. Accidentally closed Discord. Hopefully everyone is still there. What a process. Sorry, y'all. Let's get back to Discord. I gulagged myself. That is so funny. I tried pressing minimize my screen by press the red X. So funny. Look at Adobe. So main reason I was looking at this one was because we had a vector cross. Let me show you the chart so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Yeah, so we're right at our vector. You can see how we've been consolidating and barely holding, trying to hold the support. So I was either looking for a downside move or upside move. Reason I liked upside too, given this range, I mean, we have one little resistance spot, but for the most part, it's like I call it the white zone. We have a good range between here, and then we have 20%. But below that, downside had a good R to R as well. Below that, I would have targeted down to our 7% and then 80% downside, because that's when reversion usually happens. All right. You can see you could have played both ways. Literally, once we broke vector, where do we go? Vector is this purple line right here. Once we broke that, tested our cluster, and then that's when buyers took us. We could enter calls once price got above vector, right? I think it goes higher just because it's showing that it doesn't want to stay below vector. If you look at the daily chart as well with the vector, see, it's setting up for higher. Probably test these equal highs over here. Now we can go over Q. Q was fun. Hopefully you guys capitalized off this move. Yeah, Adobe has a wild spread. I called that out last week and I had a very beautiful setup. Ended up playing to my bias, but the contracts were so messy. So messy. This daily candle is wild. Alright, today, very simple. Very simple. We have our ceiling and then we have our PM highs over here, right? 460.12. So, how would you play for today? Just put a stop loss. Put a stop loss to your desire. But for Q, easy. I got caught up in the mix right here. I thought we were just testing down the pivot. I was targeting back above daily. Did not get my daily, so I took an L on those, even though my contracts went up 40%. I did not get my daily retest, which I was kind of upset. At least the retest, I would have ended the day green. But you can see how sellers kept us below daily and our PM high at 460.12, as BG mentioned. Another huge level is we have our ceiling right here, 458.99, and you can see how price stayed below that as well. From there it was just a matter of fact of breaking a new low and avoid chop, because we already showed weakness getting below ceiling, and that would have just been breaking low day and our pivot. And you can see it did exactly that, broke below pivot, retested it multiple times, multiple entries within this area, and then you can see we got that dump, we got that flush. Where did we go? Right to our PML. Market makers love PML. That's where they make their money. That's where all the theta occurs, right? So they targeted that. At what point where would you enter calls, right? Given that we are a PML and our weekly, you could have used those two levels, because that's back-to-back resistance, right? Why is it resistance? Because we broke below it, right? So these two levels are resistance. At what point would you enter calls, right? A break above, as you can see here, followed with the retest. This is where get into smart money concepts, right? When we break a level, this is a thing I haven't showed you guys either. Let's get rid of this. When we break a level, watch for structure to form. You can see how it chop, 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 and then breakthrough comes down. Usually there's going to be an imbalance, and you can enter off the imbalance and target higher liquidity or fractal levels. Well, it's always going to be a fractal level. You can see first TP here, pivot as well, but ripped right through, so you probably TP that ceiling. And then daily. You know, I know there's a lot of TPs, but at that point you just put a stop, like a trailing stop. Once you broke daily, that's when you guys should have known that it was bye-bye from that point. Market literally sold off and then just V-shaped and put a couple more points on the board. Nasty. Here's a fucking rocket. Could even enter it off break of daily. Here's another another good setup I like. There's like setups everywhere. Once you get that market experience, you'll see this. I wouldn't say same patterns because you know every day is gonna be different, but you'll see like identical setups such as this. So this is another setup I like to play. So let's say this is a good example. We dump, we don't even make a high. I mean, we can make a high like this, like nothing too big, right? And then we just dump off open. And what you do is you wait. You can either snipe the bottom, but that's not having a lot of conviction or confluence, right? For safety, you wait for price action to close above daily, get support off of it, right? And then you want to break high a day. As for this case, it was just daily. You see how price hesitated right here? And then boom, break high a day. Once we break that daily, that's your entry. And if there's a high a day that we haven't broke yet, you have to mark that out, and as a level we need to get above. And usually we get a breakout like these. I play those a lot. $17 move, let me see. 451, 469, 9, $18. Wave 20 and wave 7. Yeah, you're gonna hear daily open every day. We will never stop mentioning it. I really was hoping, not hoping, but I really would have liked if my plan would have played out perfectly, because we opened above pivot and ceiling, and this is another favorite setup I mentioned to you guys last week and this week. When we open above a fractal level, for this case it's the ceiling and pivot, we opened above those two, right? So I'm like, okay, our next level is 463.26, right? I'm regarding our PM high though, but for the most part, it's that. That's our range from ceiling to that. So what I was hoping for is a bullish retracement, right? To confirm pivot support. Entered off that candle, like literally the first candle that touched pivot. And then I saw this ceiling, we got to close above on 3 minutes. I was like, nice, this shit was about to go. And then it came back down, didn't stop out yet, right? Then it wicked. I was like, oh, this shit's about to go, but that shit never went. But I was hoping we get a bullish retracement back to pivot, break above daily, hold above our daily and our PM high, and target that. This is some crazy work though, market makers did. Crazy work. No, pivot level doesn't change at all. After a move is made, then it'll change. But for this case, the wave 20 and wave 7 daily don't change intraday. Look who decided to join. Yeah, a $19 or $18 move on Q is pretty insane. I was just playing level to level today. We had lots of levels to achieve, but price ripped through each single one like butter. That's when you're just on TOS. When you see this type of shit and you're like, when do I hold? When do I get stopped out? Just ride that 5-minute vector on that TOS. That's just riding price action throughout the whole day. Every pullback is just a pullback into the vector, a little tap into it. And that's going to be your friend too with maximizing your gains. So I do recommend you guys to download those indicators now, because I don't know what could happen. A couple weeks or months ago, the indicators on TOS, the link stopped working for a while, and then everyone was panicking. They're like, how do we get it? How do we get it? I was like, bro, we should have listened the first time. So you guys need to get that before something else inconvenient happens. And you'll see the exact same thing as we're seeing, right? Everything that BG is saying is all from the TOS indicators. When he updates you, 5-minute vector, we need to hold this level, 8 TRs at this level, right? And once you get to see what we're seeing, then the game gets easier, right? There's no confusion. You have the exact same charts as us, or you guys should. If you don't, you're asking to lose. Oh shit, this shit played out. But you guys need to get that market experience up. Be on the charts. Like when I first started, I was on the charts for hours and hours, right? Just seeing why a price moves a certain way, right? It was just me being hungry to learn more. But I still do this to this day. I'll chart charts that I'm not even going to trade. And then I'll go back and be like, okay, this is how this played out. Take notes on it on different setups, right? Or on the same setup, and see what's different about it from others. How do we get the pivot level? I forget. From the fractal. He was what? He was. I really hope you guys caught this. That and that. Which wave aggregation time? Usually we use the wave 7 or wave 20. For this instance, it's the wave 20. Check out APCO. Do the days matter? 500 days for wave 20 and 200 days for Look at that beauty. You guys remember this? Golly. Hold up. Let me bring this up to you guys. I call these hoes out right here. Oh, I need to take a picture of this. You guys see this? Watching this tomorrow. I sent this out yesterday. There's another thing. I drop sauce everywhere. Trading chat, members chat, whatever chat I feel like dropping info on, right? So if you guys are active, you saw this. If you didn't see this, then you're sleeping. This is what we mean by when you guys are sleeping, you guys don't take into consideration what we have to say. I know a lot of you guys do though, but for the most part, a lot of people don't. So I sent this out. Watching this tomorrow. Avgo. Wave 20 daily, testing our 10% downside. And on the 7 daily, we're testing our 10% downside. If you guys don't remember, well, you guys should remember, PayPal happened last Friday. This is the exact setup I used. The 7 daily, the wave 7 and the wave 20, right? They were both at 10%, so I like to play. And then all we had to do was just hold above. Where did I get it? 141.01. Right here. Where did I get that 141.01? I'm confused. Hold up. Oh, maybe it updated. I'm not sure. But other than that, pretty much told you guys to watch out for calls above that level. I bottom tick these literally within the first few minutes of market open. Once we got our daily open. Oh, that's where I got it. It's our cluster. But you can see here, I marked out this high, right? Why? Because we could have done something like this. Very quick. It happens all the time during market open. And this is how people get trapped, right? So we did not open above this high. So that's a level or a high we need to break above, right? So it could have just done this. Wicked, come back down. And we got stopped out. So that was a level we need to get above. You can see that we did that nicely. Another reason why I like this play a lot, we had a gap fill. Big gap fill that needed to be filled. And when you use the wave 10, wave 20, I mean not the wave 10, wave 7 and wave 20, and you see a gap fill like this, just know you're about to print. And you can see the first day we tested 50% of the gap fill, and then today you would have just been playing that 50%, see if we're holding that 50% of the gap fill and this 50% downside, right? And you can see where would you enter calls, right at daily, right, and 50%. There's two levels. I don't know if you guys can see that 50% level from the gap fill. Let's make this white. That's 50% of the gap fill. There's two levels right there for confluence in taking this trade, right? Where would you target? Equal highs right here, and you can see it's our vector, and that could have been TP1, and then runners to 100% gap fill, and we achieved that plus more. From 141 to 158, almost a $20 move in 2 days. 3 days. Pays to listen. It pays. I don't send these out for my own good. I sent these out so I can see you guys print and see the setups and what goes into it. Avgo is beautiful. Beautiful. I'm gonna check up on these cons. That was in the 149s. Those are probably up fat. Hey, but shout out BG though for that wave 20 shit. I've been mixing the wave 7, wave 20 together for 10% plays. If they both are at 10%, that shit's ready to go. A lot more conviction in taking the trade. Because you're looking at a big picture and then you're looking at the bigger picture. Oh my god. These are at 983 or 1085 a contract. I filled these at 50 cents. It's crazy work. No, yeah, super, super, super valid. I don't think I've come across something so OP. You see the moves being made. PayPal and Abgo. There's two examples right here happened within a week. So if you guys have fractals, I just gave you guys a new setup idea for you guys. Just look for Wave 20 and Wave 7 setups, just like these. This would have been a nice swing though. It's beautiful. Man, talk about in the video yet. I would say NVIDIA had the better setup than Q. Q kind of just bounced off our fractal level, but this is something, just disregard these levels, those are old levels. But remember classic gap fill play, right? Mark out your gap, when market opens, get that first minute candle close, mark it out. All market did off this dump was just fill the gap. Where could you enter calls? Break back above daily open, which would have been that candle. This 5 minute close above. Where would you target? First high day. Why? Because that's where it's more than likely gonna reject off of. And look how respectable it is. Literally perfect break and retest, break, retested, support, target higher. This was a very simple setup. This is a good setup. I like the way it played out. Now let's see the fractal behind it. BG just sent me it. You played off the call? Wait, hold up. NVIDIA 913, 113 calls if holding above 108.81. %50 of the gap fill. Oh, perfect alphas. Right? Is that what I'm looking at, BG? Or is that a fractal level? If it's a fractal level, then it's two confluences in one. Another break and retest. Break, retest, break. Buy retest on a lower time frame and then head higher. Pretty much the bottom. Fuck. Fucking sniper. Following across a 5 minute vector. That's all you guys need. Fractal level and a 5 minute vector cross. Daily was an additional confluence. Yeah. 3 steps. Enter off the break of the retest. Boom. Target high a day. Let's check out other tickers.
Yo, what's good, Drew? Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Appreciate you.
We have JPM. I didn't check this out just yet. I think BG sent in general chat or trading chat. We are testing on the Wave 20. We're close to our 10% downside. You guys don't remember that? JPM was a big trade for us. It was like a long ass swing and it just kept pumping and pumping. Let's figure out when that was. I think it was this. It was one of these pumps. But JPM wave 20, 500 days to load, testing 10%. Um, once I have this charted out, I'll send it out, but this could be a good one to watch. Pretty much waiting for some structure to form at least. I want to see some chop before making something. I always like to see some chop. Usually it does. Who knows though? Could just V-shape. You can see how every dip gets bought up. So it could do the same. Every dip gets bought up. And this is the fractal level. This is on the 7 daily, 10%, 20. We're close to getting there on the 7 daily. 179.88. BG mentioned showing life at our 10% downside. My only interest in this setup, we continue to hold that 10% at 179.88 above target, our 6% cluster. White zone above this. Good ranges, and we have vector all the way up there. So, let's see, go back to 15. Hold up. 185.75. Am I tripping? Why are those values different? Am I looking at a different? Am I looking at it from last time? Yeah. Oh, no, never mind, guys. This is from like. This was the first setup. My
Yeah,
fault.
that's the old one, bro.
Oh man.
Bruh.
I was like, 185
Look at
down
this
here.
dude. Look at this dude.
Nah, but this is the exact setup we played that netted us a lot of percentage gain.
That was an old one.
Yeah, 6
Those
months
that
ago.
forgot, you know.
Don't you have a chart posted somewhere of it right now, of what it looks
Yeah,
like?
bro. Click that. I posted it last night. Will be in the analysis from this morning / last night.
Wait, didn't Cayman swing calls? I'm gonna say motherfucker
I'm
by
not 100%
8.
sure.
Looking for more.
Really, before I rechart Q, kind of just gonna go over that. So, right, this off open, we're using our daily open, this 459.91, and our PM high, this 460.12, as a pivot point. Right above, we wanted to see this break up to this 465 and 463, 80% upside. Right, if we're holding that off the open, where on the flip side, if we were holding below this, we wanted to see us flush down to our pivot and then back down to our 80% downside. We also had a PM low around this 455, 70 range. So, like I was saying, using these daily open and that PMI as your pivot going into the open here. See how a nice drop, like I said, really initial off the gate. Saw that pullback below that daily. It's when we were looking up to 453s, 451s. I'm going with this 453. Like I said, let's scroll. So going off of that, like I said, we had 50-minute vector right around the 456.51. So that was one of our final tick profits. once we were going into establishing that low. Wanted to see these contracts, like I sent in the analysis as well. We were watching a break around 70 cents a contract on that flow band off that vector. Like I gave you guys targets. Like I said, I'm holding above 78 cents on these 463s. Oh my gosh, 53s. Want to see us make that break up to $100.20 a contract. And then on 5 minute, that contract, that flow band went up to around $2 or $2.50 a pop on those. Ended up getting that break once we made this move down to our floor price off that wave 20. Going off it to change it. This is that chart going into today, right? We had that floor around this negative 3%. Going and showing you guys how we respected that today, right? All you see, we made that initial low a little bit after 10 a.m. going into 11. 11:10 was when we took a stab at those 459s. See that upside break? Beautiful fucking reversal right there. I'm gonna go show you guys so you guys can see what the setup actually looked like here on TOS and all of that as well. Off the bounce of our floor and negative 3%. So you guys can see here, this is when we hit that last take profit on these that 250 mark on this 453s. Like I said, the 5 minute flow band filled that. That was around that low, and so forth. But like I said here, right? See what I mean? This is around low a day. This is right around our final target on these 453s. So, right, what do we do? I already sent out a visual, right? Please trim if you haven't yet. We're right next to our second ATR. Second ATR was just 450.97, right? So that's just stacking as additional confluence with our floor and our negative 3% off that wave 20, which are on the trading VG charts. So with those acting as additional confluence, right, wanted to see us cross that vector. And then shortly after that, you saw that's when we took a stab at those 459s. And it kind of took a little bit right here. Let me see. So right here is a little bit further into the trade, right? Made that low around these second ATRs. Now we're seeing that cross. Additional confluence for upside is this cross of 5 minute vector that you see right here, right? Where you see this 450, 480, that's where it is currently. But you can see once we get that cross, that's now acting as support to give us that potential reversal. So that's exactly what we did. Here's that, like I said, needed to hold above 30 cents premium wise on those 459s to see that break. And then from there is really sayonara.
A little bit.
But made a move up that we were initially looking for if we were just to hold our daily and PM highs off the open. Eventually got that going into 1 p.m. or 1300 Eastern. So that 1300 gave us that continuation up to that 80, and then from there, okay. So this is going in towards the end of the day, coming up on 1500, right? Above our 80%, we had next resistance at our vector. Or not vector, our 2%, right? If I go back over here, see this 467, 68.77, right? That was just that 2% off that wave 20. See how that respected with today, going into that final take profit. Going up with that 80 vector, 2%. We had to see how we treated those as a staircase, right? Need to see us get a break above, followed by retracement. All these have retracement to see that continuation. And so what that would look like going into tomorrow, right? For us to target up to this monthly as well as this little gap fill around this 473 mark, this 468.77 needs a hold as support, right? So that's the only way. This will be if we say we open up sideways tomorrow, this will be acting as a market given pivot point, right? So we're either going to see pullback back to our vector if we're failing to get above that 468.77, or if we're holding that as support, that gives us the go to see continuation up to that 473, which is our monthly open, as well as that 1 hour gap fill.
Yes.
That's kind of how you can kind of go look about it for continuation. Over on Fear and Greed, we are still at this fear mark. Got marked up about 3 points, so nothing huge on that. So let's see what it figures out. That was really it on Q though. Really nice move. I'm still debating if I want to trade tomorrow. So
Bill's done.
today was another really nice one. But that's really it for Qs. I just wanted to run over that, make sure everybody understood. I'm gonna get charts updated now. Kind of see what is happening.
Momenti Jew, did you catch today's move? Good. Some reason Drew misses these days.
Damn, you guys got like 100 people in here.
We got 11 fellas in here. I'll post charts later on. That's when I get in my groove. That's when I get in my blast some music and chart up. Who here? AJ, you've been using the fractal?
Yeah.
You've been looking for plays? Or are you still learning how to get around the fractal?
I was looking at Tesla. Was
What'd you see?
but more of a swing because they have like the Robo Taxi event in October, like I think towards the beginning of October, and then it's like people been like seeing them train the Robo Taxi, so they're gonna so it is like happening for sure, because like they've been like spotted in public, and then I'm just waiting for a good entry. Because it's sitting at like what 227 right now.
I think so.
Yeah, 228. And then it's been hitting like 234, 232 ish, and it's just been plummeting like ever since it like hits the 230s. For the past like 2 times it hit it, like 3 times.
We've been ranging.
So I don't know. Yeah. And Tesla's also linked with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk's linked with politics now because he has an agreement with Trump or something. For
News.
I don't know, he wants like a position in his office now.
News is just an excuse for a move to be made. Wherever Price wants to go, they use news as an excuse. Let's see. Let's look at something else. So what exactly did you see on the fractal though? Like besides looking at news, what exactly did you see in Confluence that you could use for news? Right?
1 minute.
Right, because you could use news and so let's say, or it goes with earnings too. So let's say Nvidia is at 10% and it has earnings next week. You could play that pop up into earnings, right? Risk free.
Yeah.
You could do the same with news or whatever. Just know when you play the news, it's a lot more riskier, more risk to put on. Man, I wish we just held fucking pivot right off open.
Made it a little bit more spicy.
They did. I was like, yeah. And then I was like, damn. Wait, what? 700% on calls? What do you mean? I thought, because I saw puts at first, I was like, oh, 500%, that's cool. You guys banked. And then that said 700% on calls. I was like, what? Because I have no service where I'm at. And then Fucking looked at the charts after hours, and I was like, whoa. Haven't seen that in a minute. Oh, I could give you guys a good example about laggers. The video was a perfect example of a lagger.
Today?
Yeah, especially right off open. You know how Q just dumped, and you can see in the video, kind of was just pumping, stalling out. You could have played puts with that cross of like a 1 minute vector, 5 minute. I say 1 minute vector. You could play down to this gap fill. You could have played down to daily and then gap fill. Capitalize off that move. Would have been nice. But that's a perfect example if you look at side by side.
Sheesh, look at that.
See? I did the opposite. But yeah, that's what we look for when it's a lagger. This is a good lagger.
Today was a perfect day of why you don't full port. The first trade did like like 100 or something percent, and then the reversal went like crazy. If you had no more buying power to catch the reversal, you would have been so sad.
Thing is, if you would have
Like
just,
what was that?
it was like,
Yeah.
I saw Bill put 5,000%, but just put it in perspective. If you have, I don't know, fucking $1,000 account, risk $50 on the first initial move down, you probably would have capitalized like $300-400 off that move. Then if you'd have risked the same $50 again for the calls up, I don't know, that shit would have been like a couple stacks. So it doesn't take much to
Shit.
make much. Right.
5,000%. Bro, 5,000% is crazy. Sheesh.
We've seen more.
What was the highest you've personally gotten?
Personally, oh, nothing that high. I'd say like 1,500-1,600%. Because what I see, I like. Fuck. When you get past that, it's either you're swinging a position or you're just a degen and ready to go. But by then, I'm fully scaled out. What do you think about Walmart? I got 40 cons expiring next week. Damn, I thought those expired last week. You entered more?
Rolling those contracts. Bro, BG was going crazy today. He was like, alright, I'm done now. 5 minutes later, he's like, we made another 200%. He's like, nah, but I'm done now for real, for real.
Trust me, when it's a trend day, BG's never leaving his desk. I swear, he'll say I'm going to the gym, and then he'll be like, why the fuck am I still here?
That's what he did yesterday. He said, I'm going to the gym, and then literally like 30 minutes later, he like put the reversal in the analysis. I was like,
I need to pull this up on the fractal for Walmart. See if it's working right now.
Perfectly timed the bottom too. Dude, I would have been toast today. I was like, I didn't get into the queues for puts. I like got into Apple instead. Cause it was like lagging behind a little bit, and then queues did like a fast push down already. So I entered like Apple puts, and then I was like just holding them. I was waiting for it to touch the next vector, and I think it was at 217, I believe. Let me see my chart. And bro came out of nowhere, like bro saved me. Yeah, no, see, I was waiting for 216.8, the next vector, and then came and was like, he just randomly spawned in. He was like, just started talking, and then I asked him, I was like, what do you think about the Apple to 216.8? He he was like, I don't know, it's at the lows of yesterday's intraday, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't even see that. And then like right after he said that, it like started reversing back up, and I was like, whoa.
Cayman.
Like I still banked like a good 100% profit from that, but I would have like lost every single like percentage from that if I like exited at that 217 level. 217.89.
Cayman a dog. Yeah, Jojo. There's no number. I don't wait for 3 candle closes, right? Because if you look at price action, oh my god, it's quit again. Sorry, my money G, I can't get Fractal open, but if you look at previous price action, you can see that it takes 1 candle close and then price pumps, or it takes 3, or it takes 4, or it takes 5, right? There's no set number to it. Ways you could practice for that is market experience, being on the charts, put fractal levels down and come back to it a day later and see how those levels react. And then when it comes to that, you'll see it better. Your mind will be like, oh, I've seen this before. I'm just gonna wait for this to happen, right? Notice across a 5-minute vector, I've been taking out both sides of the outside ATR. That's a good example. The vector really helps with getting that entry point right. You get a 5-minute close above the 5-minute vector. You enter off that. Have that 5-minute vector as your stop, right? And close below. You guys watch VIX with Q Spy too? BG. I personally, I haven't looked at it in a long time. BG did look at it like 2 weeks ago. Volatility index.
We have more news too, right?
Yep.
PPI and employment.
Oh, I need to tag Alex on this. What is this guy yapping about? BG, you don't use two. Oh, never mind. You just said. Okay, yeah. But no, I see green. Try out this very simple. Wave 20, 500 days to load. Watch for a 10% play to set up. Right. Wait for price action to get 10% or 5%, either or. Then go to the wave 7 daily with 200 days to load, and you want to see the identical setup on the wave 20. If they look exactly, not exactly, but if they look identical, being at 10%, you input the wave 20 levels as your TPs, and then use the wave 7 daily as your entry. It's fire. Typically a swing though.
Do you like swing trades more than trades?
Yes. Well, I like intraday more because it happens right away, but swings pay more. Like those Avgos, intraday.
Swings pay?
Swings pay way more.
What? I didn't know
Way.
that.
Swing plays pay hella. Like my Avgo
I
play.
thought intraday then swing plays.
Nah. Swing play like Avgo. I sent those out. Entered at 50 cents a contract, I believe. Those contracts are at 10 or at the $1,000 a contract from 50 cents.
What?
PayPal.
What?
I mean, PayPal was a 0 DT, so that's why I got a better percentage gain. But JPM is another one. If you go into the chat, BG tagged me in one of them. Tag me on one of them about JPM. And if you just scroll through BG's analysis, you'll see that we were in those for quite a bit of time. Those ended up going crazy.
Let me check you. Are you looking at for the JPM? That swing. How do you guys calculate the percentage for it?
What do you mean? We don't calculate a percentage beforehand.
Oh, okay.
I
I
mean,
thought like you'd look at it and be like, oh, we can make this amount.
you could on the fractal, but I don't really need to know that. I mean, you can if you want, but I'll just wait for the day to come, right? Whatever it gives me, it gives me. I'm not going to be anticipating, let's say it says 4,000% if you get to that level, right? Because it's just a calculation, it's just an estimate, right? Because there's the Greeks you have to worry about. Greeks fluctuate with volatility, so it's not going to be exact. But you could use it just to help you pick out the right contract. But we already know which ones will give us the best percentage gain, just because of the one we use ATRs. ATRs give you the best ranges for contracts. You go based off those. So let's say QQQ had a ATR at 467 and we're at 463. We'll pick the 467 calls or 468s.
So that's how you guys decide the contracts to get.
Yeah, by ATRs, because ATR just stands for average true range, or we'll use a fractal level if we're in a big range. Not for real though. TOS indicators literally like you guys do this on your own if you guys TOS indicators, right?
I couldn't figure out how to do
There's a video.
the TOS charting. I made an account with the Charles Schwab Thinkorswim. But I couldn't figure out how to like get the trading view up.
Maybe trading view.
Like how that's what BG always has, no? He has like some website, yeah, tradingview.com/chart.
No, you're using TOS.
Is that not the
You're using TOS's platform. It's gonna be completely different. What you're seeing right now, what BG's using, he just used TradingView just to show you guys the fractal levels. But the main chart that BG's looking at is TOS, which is he doesn't share that just because it has personal information on there, right? He doesn't want to be sharing. Doesn't want to be sharing that live stream, right? But if you go on BG's analysis, you can see like today he posted what TOS looks like. If you scroll,
is it that what the prediction for the contracts?
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what it looks like. That's how indicators look like though. Has everything, has daily open, has 10 a.m. box, has
the 10 a.m. box.
Yep. It has levels of target. Like literally, you do not need to chart anything. You could just look at the fractal and be like, oh, we're at 10%. You can mark that level down if you want, but you just play the vectors, right? That's why we always mention it to you guys to get them, because everything will be right in front of you. And the faster you guys get it, the more market experience you guys will get, and a lot easier information will be retented. You'll have a lot more retention because once you're seeing the same thing over and over again, your mind's gonna be like, oh, I've seen this before, right? It takes a little bit of time to get used to TOS, but it takes like a week, if that.
But it's worth it.
100%. When you mix those two together, fractal and the TOS indicators, it's like unstoppable. You pretty much know where price is gonna head based off the levels we're holding or rejecting. I will ask around here. Jupiter, you use TOS? No, I was asking if I should. Yeah, you use fractal anyways.
For the JP Morgan swing, would you consider getting the 913 contracts anymore, or are you just gonna
I don't
consider
know.
the 920 contracts?
At least 2 weeks out. 1 week, 2 weeks. 2
Okay,
weeks.
okay.
2 weeks gonna be a little more pricey. 1 week out is just gonna be right, and give you some leverage, give you some breath into your trade. But
Is it the
what's up?
good, Drew?
What's up, Alex? You see Abco, Alex?
Yeah. No, I saw it earlier today when I was trading the video. I was like, damn, bro. Imagine we
158.
showing those. Would have been crazy.
You were in the 145s.
I know. You were in 149. You still would have fucking banked.
Yeah, I was looking at those. They're at like 1,000 a contract.
Yeah, but I made on the video, so I was pretty happy, bro. I made I kept a runner. Obviously, I could have held. Imagine I held my 4 contracts, it would have been way more, but I scaled down, and that's all that matters.
What's the
And I run
strike?
around.
What's the strike on JPM? I'm gonna chart that shit out later. BG,
Oh, yeah.
tag,
JPM, good.
tag,
BG had it at 215.15.
tag people on that fractal chart of JPM, the recent one you sent. I'm not sure where you posted it.
Yeah, I think he posted on BJ analysis of Oh no, it was on trading chat.
It was last night, I think. Let's see.
Yeah.
I don't see him. I haven't.
Is it the farther you get the contract out, the like less money you make?
What's up?
Like the farther that the contract expires, the less money you make. Is that how it works?
Yeah, but you're risking less as well.
So you're essentially dollar-wise, you're making less, but percentage-wise, you'll get that percent return. You'll get the high percentages, right? So the reason we go without the money contracts a lot is 1, that percentage gain, we're able to leverage our money. 2, we're able to position ourselves into the market. So let's say like Q today, instead of picking a contract for $1, and let's say you're risking $200, so you'll have enough for 2 contracts, right? For you to catch the whole move would be completely hard. It would be so hard. You'd be like, oh fuck, I'm already at TP. How am I supposed to trim? I only have 2 contracts, right? Instead, BG called out 25 cents contract, right? Risking $200. Now you have 10 contracts, right? Now you have runners running. You're able to scale out appropriately and hold runners, and runners is a huge part into this game. Runners is what really gets you that bonus, right? So that's why we pick those out the money contracts for those reasons.
Yeah, I was in those. And I got stopped out on those. I made a little bit, and then I had runners, and they came back to the original price, and I got stopped out.
My Amazon Play went too.
How many runners do you leave? Like how many
Tom, risk free.
like when you trim, like what's the percentage that you leave and keep?
Risk free.
It also depends on your account, like how big your account with. Like I don't risk, like let's say like for me, if I'm like 30%, 40% into a trade, and it just made a move, I'll trim out a little bit, and I'll kind of have it close to break even, kind of just because I don't want to lose money on it, you know. It all depends on your risk management. Some people can put it a break even, you know what I'm saying, and they can risk that money. But like I said, like even if you make $10 on a trade, that's $10 that you can make. You might be working on 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, today was crazy though, honestly.
Stupid.
Drew, I swear to you, I got out of practice, bro, and I was like, bro, watch, I'm gonna make a play. And I saw QQ, and I got in QQ. I made like probably like not even much. I was like up. I made like $30, so I got stopped out, and I put it too tight, and then I saw in the video, and I was like, because BG called it out, bro. I took the play, and it freaking flew.
It's fucking crazy. I wish I played it, bro. I got fucking. It was a hell day for me, red day, because I couldn't trade past 7:30 my time, bro. Right off open, I was anticipating a bounce off pivot. They're like, psych.
Yeah, I could. Couldn't train in the morning, bro. I didn't think I was gonna be able to make a trade, but somehow I was able to.
It was crazy too. I was like, I fucking sniped this bitch. This about to go crazy because above ceiling, that shit was gonna fly like it did today.
Oh, yeah.
It did. I was like, fuck. It was at 40%.
Yeah, NVIDIA pumped.
And it didn't hit daily.
Yeah, NVIDIA pumped too.
NVIDIA had a beautiful setup.
Because it had very good news too. Like when I ended up finding out, the CEO ended up speaking out, and it kind of like people were scared about. Like he started speaking out about it, and so that's what made it fly more. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it helps. In the market, I guess.
Easy setup. All we did, well, one, it was already a lagger. 2, we had a gap fill below. All it did was gap fill it. Your entry could have been right above daily. And target high die. And then runners above that.
Yeah, bro, but it was fire, honestly. It was a very good day. I think it's probably my best week I ever had.
Either call it a week and call it
just by percentage wise. Bro, starting at 320 and then getting up all the way to, well, now I'm at like 1500 in a week is crazy to me.
That is crazy work.
Percent, bro. Because you can't even buy so many contracts at $320, but
fuck
sometimes some of them. The $320 I think what made me get money was I think I made on Q, and then PayPal they got me up a little bit more. I was able to have more money because I had 0DT contracts. Remember that PayPal on Friday? That shit paid. Then you call the app go. That's what y'all be calling out plays. I really be doing that.
Just getting better every day, brother. Every day you're getting 1% better.
And it's funny how people go in general chat. I don't think this Discord was like what I thought it was gonna be. Like I thought you guys were supposed to call out trades, which y'all don't call out trades a lot, but y'all kind of do in a way, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, y'all call out trades like Nvidia, you call out AppGo, and PayPal. You know what I'm saying? They call out so many plays and people don't even realize. Even on Q, they like even BG the way his announcement sounds, it kind of tells you which way he's kind of leaning to.
He hints. He gives you a hint.
Yeah,
Huh, BG?
he does. BG's probably playing with his cat.
Whoa. He's playing with his cat. Is crazy.
Pause.
Yes.
That sounded way worse than I intended to.
I didn't say it, BG. Alex did.
Bro, my bad, BG.
I'm about to cook later. See if we find setups for tomorrow. See if any moves today brought us to a certain level that could potentially bring us a good trade. What happened?
Yeah. I'll probably be at trade tomorrow. I have like freaking running and then media day and all that shit. Probably hopefully Friday I'll zero to see if I could do some lottos. And we might have a little chop tomorrow. I don't know. We had a big move today.
Let's see 117. And we'll continue above 463.27. Did we get 117?
I think it was very close. I'm not sure.
No, it did.
I don't think so.
It did. 117.21 was the high day.
Nice.
This guy just plays with his cat and stares at lines. Are we still in the video? One left. I left one con as a runner. That's valid as fuck. Depending if you're risk free in that trade, meaning your profits can cover a loss of that whole contract, right? But we are at 10% downside, so we still have some room to be made for the upside. And then you can also look at what BG said to trading chat. Above our 80% next W wave 20 resistance 468.77. This wave 20 shit's fucking saucy. Oh, this is funny.
Bro, that is crazy, bro. 452 to 468 is insane.
Dude, that's a
$451.
$18 move. Or 19, I don't know. Either of those two. I've never seen really a move that big in a long time. I don't even think I've seen anything like that.
We have news tomorrow, though. Do you have any red folders?
Tomorrow, yes.
Did you pick up an agility ladder for my daughter?
Does anybody have questions about that? This is being recorded. My last class from Tuesday is posted.